Hi, I'm Joe Crea. I am a member of USGBC's Marketing and Communications Department, and we are here with LEED Fellow Deepa Sathiaram. She works in India and has worked with LEED for a number of years. Deepa, we're delighted to have you.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you, what can people reasonably expect when pursuing LEED? What do they expect out of the certification process?
That's a great question. Basically, sustainability is a problem that everybody wants to address, and every building wants to save on energy, water. And the rating system provides a great framework for people to be able to do that. But something that people should understand is that, we often compare a LEED certificate to a university or a college degree. It's basically, let's take an example that both of us are engineers, and we just graduated out of Stanford, and we've gone through the same academic rigor, the curriculum, and the whole drill. And both of us are engineers. And 3 years or 5 years later, you're a great performing engineer, and you're doing extremely well in a job. And I'm an engineer, but I'm not doing so great. So does that mean that the degree that Stanford gave me is at fault, is something that Stanford should not have given me? No. It's basically, what do we say when we get a degree from college? That we have the foundation and the knowledge and the ability to perform. And how you perform is only something that time will tell, and that depends on each individual. The LEED certification is very similar to that. It tells a client, or it should tell a building, that you have everything in you to be able to perform and save on energy, water, and do all the right things. But how it performs is something that the building will only know over a period of time, and the building has to continue to do a lot of things to be able to perform. You cannot sit down saying, oh, I've got my LEED certificate and I've done everything, now I can just go back to business. It doesn't work. All you say is LEED certification is step one. It just says that you have everything in you to perform, but then the building has to start performing and maintain that rigor over a period of time, and that's when they actually become a performing building. A LEED certification gives you a green building, but a performing green building is one that's in the hand of the building owners and the building operators to be able to operate it over a period of time in a most efficient way.
Great. What are some of your flagship buildings that have been LEED certified?
There's plenty of them. We have close to about 120, 130 LEED certified buildings in India already. Some of the interesting projects that we've enjoyed doing a lot of work with is a small building called Sun Carrier Omega Building, which is in a tier 2 city in India, in Bhopal. And it's one of the first buildings in India to be a net zero energy building. And it was very interesting because, we work with a lot of large companies in large cities. And for a small town building to actually want to do that and to be able to do that was excellent. And, it was not a very big building, about 15,000 square feet, but big enough to make them want to do, close to about 80 kilowatt of solar power. So it's also a LEED Platinum building, but to take it beyond to net zero energy was something that was fabulous. Some other projects is we did a very interesting green warehouse in India a few years back. And I say that, everybody says, oh, LEED works very well for commercial buildings, office buildings, hotels, and IT parks. But, we're just a warehouse. We have close to 300,000 square feet of warehousing space. Can we go green? And this was a Singapore company that was setting up a warehouse in India, and they came to us and they asked that question. We said, yeah, I think it would work. And we had lots of dialogue with USGBC on how do we take LEED new construction and apply it, and they achieved a LEED gold rating and probably the first green warehouse in India. So that was an interesting project too.
Finally, what role do you see LEED playing with Prime Minister Modi's Smart City Initiative, 100 Smart City Initiative?
I think that, firstly, it's a great initiative, and something that we need to look at it in a holistic manner. We do a lot of great work in India, but we do it in isolation, in silos. And what would be great is if we can get LEED or USGBC, and we're talking about the LEED for global cities, in a way that addresses all aspects of sustainability, right from energy, water, waste, technology, health and well-being, and all of that in a holistic manner. It could be a community level initiative, it could be a city level initiative, but something that will address everything in a very holistic manner would be great, because that will sustain long term. We can do great work in isolation. They will remain in isolation unless you do something at a large holistic level in a way that it can be replicated. So you set up a pilot city or even a small part of the city, because our cities are really huge. A small district where you can do some of these initiatives and showcase and replicate.
Create the modularity.
And replicate, make it easy so it can be replicated in all cities and all districts across the country. That would be great.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.